Welcome back, all you beautiful fine folks out there. Today's episode of Chatt It Up Sports, we are bringing one of the best pods of the year again because we're just leading up to football season with all kinds of just guesstimations and fun picks. We're going to pick each conference championship matchup and who we think we're going to win. This did not go wonderful last year, but it was okay. Nobody got the Big 12 right. Don't even think we sniffed it close, to be honest with you. And we're going to probably do the same thing again because it's just fire shoot. The SEC is, who knows, also up top, but we're going to do it. We're going to try this again, friends. It is also brought to you by our wonderful friends over at Bears Cabinetry. Best cabinet refinishing in the city of Chattanooga. So if you need them, tell them Chatt It Up Sports sent you and they'll give you 5% off. Also, Steel City brand. Just you have their tee on? Yeah.
I do.
This thing is sweet. The perfect tee. It really is. It's kind of got that rustic look. I've been a fan. In this sweaty hot box, it's keeping that boy dry. Malcolm Harris, first off, let's hit that theme music. Ladies and gentlemen, let's pick some champions. Odds were released a couple weeks ago on all sorts of crazy picks. We're all in here talking about I don't know which we're going to do because we've changed it while we're in the pod, pre-pod 2 minutes ago. Drew just did it right before we're going to do the intro. So let's pick some champions, boys. Let's be right, though. Let's try to be right. Except for I want all you guys to be wrong.
We're gonna get into it.
Let's do it.
We're gonna start. Oh wow! All right.
No, we can. What's from the man up north? Let me see that chest open. Open that. Turn that. Lean a little sideways. Yeah, let's see that. That's a nice shirt, dude. Malcolm Harris.
What's up, man?
The satellite off.
Oh my gosh, man! Chattanooga North, man.
That's right.
Chattanooga North. It's gonna be here. I miss you guys, man. It's been a busy couple of days, couple of weeks. I'm glad to just be back in, and I'm ready to pick some champions. And I just want to say, for the big game draft, if you know ball, you know ball. And I heard from
I was gonna get to him. Yep.
I heard from the producer himself that somebody knows ball on the show, and somebody is balled on the show, and it's your boy. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you,
dog. So it wasn't even close. I'll give you that. You picked the game of the year in the Alabama-Georgia game.
Yes, sir.
And then you had just two others that were just hitters, man. It was
calling the Michigan-Ohio State game was a bold take at the time. When you picked that, I was like, oh, Ohio State's going to roll. And then they didn't. And then the USC-LSU game, like 3 for 5, dude. Bro, it was an incredible run.
Which you kind of forget about that first game of the year because that LSU – that first game was awesome. The first game was really good. I watched that. Have you watched the SEC doc on Netflix yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, because they had that one on, and I kind of remembered it. And when we had talked about the game of the year draft, I'd watched that, and so I got to see that, and I was like, dang, man. Miggie freaking hit that, and you just kind of forget how good that game was because it's so damn early.
Bro, that was a thriller. That was a thriller. Like I remember that game. I remember rest in peace, of course. Kyron Lacey.
Yeah. Good stuff, dog.
Wow. Thank you.
Also, speaking of LSU, I listened to Coach Orgeron today on Pardon My Take. If you have not listened to that, dude,
you need to go see it.
That's one of I'll say it, like one of the best interviews I've ever heard, especially from like a college football perspective. It was hilarious. He goes in depth on the whole Joe Burrow recruitment. Like, it's so good, dude.
Oh, didn't he have didn't he send like his crawfish guy to Joe to like convince him to come to play at LSU?
No, the story is they had this dinner set up with the whole family, everybody, all the coaches, and they forgot to get crawfish. Like somebody that was supposed to get it like that. They're like, we don't have any crawfish, coach. He's like, go get my guy. And then he like goes and sends off the guy. And like it's like some, Cajun dude with not even a real name goes and gets 40 pounds of crawfish for everybody.
You know, it's still early, but like if Brian Kelly doesn't work out at LSU, people will point at that and be like, "That's the reason why he just wasn't." That's why Edo secured a natty, and Brian Kelly could. Not saying he could, not saying he can't, not saying he won't, but like if it doesn't work out at LSU, people will point at that and be like, "That's probably why."
For more of that interview, you'll hear why it's not going to be just that.
Yeah.
The things this man did to get this job. It's like Coach O's got a set on him. Coach O's got some cojones. I don't know if all this is embellished or not, but even if it's remotely close, it's worth going to listen to because, damn, dude, he's hilarious. And I think he in his mind is main character syndrome, and it's awesome. Like he's got the best version of that because nobody else would do this. Nobody else. Yeah, he's the best. So it's worth going to listen to. I don't even want to ruin it because it's not going to be nearly as good as when he tells it in that raspy voice, and you can just see him. I'm listening to it on audio during my lunch break, walking my dog, and I can just see the red face, the red tan face come about. The man he's like, I've calmed it down to 6 Red Bulls a day. Calmed it down.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. He's the
6
best.
Red Bulls.
man.
He said he was doing upwards of 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Light work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just do cocaine, brother.
He's in Miami. That's probably what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Doing cocaine the Jordan Belfort way.
Yeah, that's right. Good. Yeah, he's the best. All right, but so sidetrack, of course. We're going to start out picking some teams. We're going to go SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12. It's going to go Drew. It's going to go Miggie, Joseph, myself, and then we're going to snake it back. And that is how it's done today, ladies and gentlemen. So, for the first pick in the championship picks, Drew Rogers.
Oh, boy.
No
SEC.
pressure.
Yeah. Not too excited that I got this one first, just because it's the SEC. And obviously we're demographically located here. And, apparently whatever we say about the SEC holds some more weight than if, you're just talking about the Big 12 or, the ACC, God forbid. But speaking of Coach O, he mentioned that he may want to coach again on that interview. I don't know if you got to that part of it. Feels like he's kind of just floating that out there at the right time.
Lost some weight. He's ready to go.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Coach O, he will not be returning back to LSU in my version of the SEC because my conference championship is going to be Alabama LSU.
No way.
Look.
Okay.
Alabama, I think I'm not going to be alone on this pod picking them and putting them in the conference championship. I'm getting a strong no from our producer over here, but that's okay. Look, sometimes when you don't know the answer, the easiest thing is just to pick what feels familiar. Yeah. And that's what Alabama is. Alabama is familiar. Last 10 out of 11 years, Alabama or Georgia has won the SEC. So don't overthink it. And the other, I say 10 out of 11, the 1 year in the last 11, it wasn't Alabama or Georgia. You know it was?
Yes, of course.
It was LSU.
Yeah, it's 2019.
It was LSU, of course. The team of, the superpower team.
The greatest college football team.
He said of his 5 national championship teams, which I did forget, I kind of do forget how many great teams Coach O was with during those championships. He's like, no doubt about it, that LSU team.
Yep.
Best ever coach.
Yeah, sorry, Drew, go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, no. So there's Bama. There's one side of my my argument. And then the other side, I think Brian Kelly's in a very unique position this year where I just don't think 8-4 is going to cut it. And if Nussmeier is somewhat healthy, I think 9-3 is the floor for this team. And I really, you just look at them, I think they have too much talent. Now, their schedule is not easy. It's not a very fun schedule. But I actually think that they're talent-wise, and Blake Baker's second year, I think they're going to be quite a bit better on that side of the ball. It was really hard for me to look at them really as a product and say they're not at least going to be somebody that you talk about late in the year. So for that reason, I have LSU in. I have them. I couldn't decide who I wanted them to lose to, so I have them losing to Bama early in the year, late in the year, and then I have the rematch in the conference title game.
Who you got winning the conference title game?
I took Alabama. Yeah, as good as I think LSU is going to be this year, man, Alabama is going to be very, very scary for a lot of teams this year. I actually think they're going to be better. I know that they're projected high, and I think they're going to be even better than that. And I hate to jump on the Bama bandwagon because, as all college football fans who aren't Bama fans, I was very happy that they had a step back last year and they were 9-3. It's just nice to see parity, nice to see somebody else win for a change. But yeah, I have Alabama in a close duel versus LSU, taking them down.
I think a lot of people have had that Bama fatigue, and it just needed to happen for a year.
Yeah.
At least.
I think some people would want it to happen for more. I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but
no, this team's too talented.
No, Nick Saban did too much. He did way too much to prop up this team to where it's kind of like, hey, you just got to come in and not screw it up.
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, that can happen because you could say Pete Carroll did the same thing with USC. You could say that Mac Brown did the same thing with Texas, where it's like, hey, you just got to come in and not screw it up. Not to the same level by any means did they do what Nick Saban did.
I feel like
not even in the
Pete
same.
Might be closer as far as.
Yeah, for sure. Closer than Mac. Yeah. But still, national brands, your Texas, your USC, but they fell off for a while.
Yeah.
So it's possible it could happen to Alabama. I don't know if it will.
Don't think so. I don't think so. Miggy?
I absolutely think so. I do not think Alabama's going to sniff the SEC championship this year. That's just me.
Hey.
Nick Saban is not coming through that door, and college football is very cynical, right? It goes through phases of you don't know exactly what you got until you got it, and there's a lot more parity. So I love the confidence. I mean, I know they just named Ty Simpson the starting quarterback. You got a bona fide superstar and Hollywood Ryan Williams out there, but and there's other pieces too. Defensively, offensive line is going to be amazing. But I just don't know. My picks are simple. I'm going to go good on good. I think that we're now in a new era, right? And I think that Texas is now here to stay. So you give me Arch, who is going to be in his Heisman type of moment. And you take that against a Kirby-led defense, right? And some great skill players offensively for the Georgia Bulldogs, and a hungry Georgia team. This is a team that, albeit yes, they've won a lot of championships. Joseph, you know this feeling very well, but dogs are still thirsty when they ain't had nothing to drink in a while. And for their standards and what this program has done, recruiting, the Georgia program is just different, and I think talent is going to show. And I think that there's truly going to be a not a changing of the guard, but I saw this little clip of Kirby, and his voice, you could just hear the hunger. You could just hear it sounds different. It sounds like Kirby back when he was in 2016 and he lost 5 games, because he realizes that there is truly a changing of the guard. So give me Texas and Georgia in the SEC championship game, but ultimately, I think Texas is going to win it. So give me that to happen.
A rematch of a late season game. I see.
Yeah,
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of that. I think.
Yeah.
Looking at my picks and I just guessing on some of y'all's. There's a lot of rematches we're gonna get back and forth. So that's one thing I'm excited for this year.
I think it sets up the way the conference sets up those upper echelon teams in the SEC. It'll be hard, I think, for you to not get, unless you get an LSU Texas kind of matchup. I think that'd be the only one where it's hey, these two teams haven't played. Maybe Texas Bama. That's not a regular season matchup.
Yeah.
But or Georgia LSU. But any combination of those 4 teams, I feel like you're more likely to have these teams played earlier in the season. Speaking of matchups and teams that played earlier in the season, I actually flirted with both of y'all's picks for the SEC title game, and ultimately decided to go a little bit of half and half. What was that stat you said, Drew? 10 out of the last 11? Boys, make it 11 out of the last 12. I got Georgia and Bama playing in the SEC title game again. I think Alabama's going to be the real deal this year. I think, again, I spoke about it a few shows ago. I think their ceiling is going to be a little bit lower, but their floor is going to be higher with Ty Simpson. I think he fits much more of what Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb want to do. I love the pieces they have coming back on defense. I like the wide receiver room. I heard coming out of fall camp that Jam Miller had gotten shaken up a little bit, but that seems to be just like an upper body injury, so I'm not too concerned about that. I think they're going to be really good on the offensive line. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. And I think Alabama ultimately will end up beating Georgia in the SEC title game. But looking back at Georgia last year, they were like 15th in the conference in rushing. I don't see them being as bad this year. Even though they lost pieces on the offensive line, Carson Beck's gone. You lost Trevor Etienne, who I don't think a lot of Georgia fans were expecting to lose. But you feel good about Nate Frazier. You feel good about Josh McCray coming in from Illinois. You've got a every down back in Nate. You've got a big body back in Josh. Mm-hmm. I just feel like the signs that Georgia didn't rush to the transfer portal to try to supplement their offensive line means that internally they have to feel good about who they're rushing out there. And when it comes to this staff, man, if they trust them, then I'm going to trust that staff. I think Georgia has kind of a little bit of a mental edge over Sark and Texas right now, especially with the way the last 2 games went. Texas was a better team than Georgia last year, except when they played. And if I have to pick a staff that I trust to turn it around, I'm going to pick Georgia's. So give me Georgia and Alabama playing in the SEC title game. The way I've got it is that I think Georgia wins the first game at home, and then I think Alabama gets them in the SEC title game on a neutral site. I could see it going the opposite way, but that's my official prediction is Alabama wins the SEC and beats Georgia.
This one was so hard because, like, don't you guys feel like Texas is the flashy, very talented team? Bama is, well, it's not Nick Saban talented team, but it's super, super talented. Mm-hmm. LSU's kind of in a different boat. It's like, well, do we trust Brian Kelly? But they're loaded with talent. These 4 at the top, like, and with Georgia on the other perspective of very talented questions, especially with what you lost. Like, Etienne's just a bigger name. You know, you got to trust, and you've seen Nate Davis at times. Like, okay, great get from Illinois. Mm-hmm. That's a beast, man. That's a beast of a back. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, those 4, the talent is so high that I just went back and forth like literally 5 times. I was like, because I just don't like Brian Kelly that much, and I feel like that team is just so talented. I feel stupid not even putting them there. Yeah,
and I've kind of taken a, like, not to get into our Big Ten at all, but I've kind of taken a James Franklin-esque approach with Brian Kelly, where it's like, yeah, you did it year 1 with Nick Saban, you beat Alabama, but outside of that, in 2019, Alabama's kind of run your pockets the last few years. So I kind of need to see it to believe it from Brian Kelly, but not just them beating Alabama, but them handling business everywhere else. Like, if you got to beat Bama, you also got to beat Florida. You also got to beat Texas A&M. Florida and A&M are probably going to be better than they were last year. I know on paper LSU looks a lot better than they were last year, but somebody said something. It was Bud Elliott from Cover 3, and I didn't think about it because I was in the same mindset of, well, LSU has the number 1 transfer portal class, so naturally all those players must be really good. And I thought, he said, well, how good was this transfer portal class from this last year? Like, how truly good were those players that they brought in? I thought, that's something I didn't really think about as much. So I'm kind of in prove it to me mode with Brian Kelly. I think Blake Baker's going to take strides on the defense with LSU. But if I'm picking teams that I trust, I'm leaning more on that Alabama roster to not get in their own way like they did last year. And man, it's taking my fan bias out of it. It's hard to pick against Kirby Smart. And especially with them looking the way they did last year, with as many holes as they had all these drops. They couldn't block. They were 15th in rushing in the conference, and they still went 11-2, beat Texas twice, and won the SEC. So, I mean, like, you have all of that stacked against you, and you won it last year.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to get into my own head and think, well, yeah, I know everybody's saying all these things about Texas, and I believe Arch is going to be really good, but I think if Arch would have had a much better time last year when all of these tough games that Texas has were at home versus now they're on the road. So you've got to take Sark, and you've got to take, or Sark's got to take Arch into the swamp. You got to take him to Athens. Yeah, you get Texas A&M at home, but you don't have the luxury of having most of those games in DKR like you did last year. So, I again, not a shot at Arch. It's just hard to take a first-year starter on the road in the SEC. So, Georgia plays 12 games this year. I think 8 of them are in the state of Georgia, minus on the road at Auburn, neutral site versus Florida. You get the Benz game versus Georgia Tech, but like that's the Benz. You're not playing. You're not playing at Georgia Tech, so it's kind of going to be 50-50.
Yeah.
So you get Texas at home, you get Ole Miss at home, you get Alabama at home. You're on the road at Tennessee and Auburn. Like,
it's a better schedule.
It's the opposite. Last year your schedule was brutal, and this year it works out much more in your favor if you can improve in the areas that you're shooting to improve in. Run game, offensive line. Now, if that offensive line doesn't come together and it all falls apart, this prediction's going to look rough. But we'll see.
Yeah, because that's the thing that I guess I'll just go ahead and talk real quick about me on the Alabama side. So I also had them as the offensive line is so valuable in college football, and that's why I believe like when you have a guy like Proctor coming back and all this stuff for Alabama, and their offensive line's gonna be so good. I do have that feeling about this Alabama team, and I don't know. I'm with you. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, it just feels like the right year for them to go in and lose to Georgia early, but then they still get back. I feel like Alabama still gets back, and I feel like that might be I don't know how to compare it right, but it's like that might be their Michigan. Like that, I feel like they're the same. I feel like this Alabama team could be this year's Ohio State. Maybe they learn a little quicker than Ohio State. Like, you fall off to Michigan so late that you can't get over that hump or whatever. But I think this Alabama team has that potential because these wide receivers just like throw the ball to them. And if your offensive line is this good, hopefully Jam comes back pretty quick. I just be a little bit better on the run game, and you're going to shoot up the ladder, I feel like, as far as like a perspective and cutting out your worries, because this has not been a great running team the last couple of years, but the last year. But it's like, surely they can get better now that they have another year of solidarity on an offensive line that's very good, very talented. You're the second most talented team or first most talented team, whatever list you're looking at. It feels very, very similar to Ohio State, and we kind of have the feelings about Ryan Day. It's like, well, is he that good, or is he just like beating up them on the Big Ten and then finally can't win the game against Michigan and get to the final? I don't know. Then now he gets over that hump. Maybe DeBoer can be that.
Yeah.
He's just like, don't screw up this super talented team.
Yeah. Quick update, because I just saw this. So they figured out some more stuff about Jim Miller's injury. He had surgery, but they're hopeful he can return by the Georgia game.
Okay. So what? 3 games? 4 games?
That would be the
fourth game.
3 game and a bye week. So
yeah. Okay. That'll be good because they'll need that.
Yeah.
This Florida State may be sneakier than we think. This game could be better than we think it is.
Yeah. Even if they are, it's tough for me to give them a chance against.
I'm not giving them a chance, but I think it might be. I'm trying to say it's gonna be. I think it might be better.
They could right the ship a little bit. This year.
I think Gus will be able to draw up some things to make it look fun in the first half, or at least I'm hoping so. Because that's the only 3:30 slot we got that day, which is nice.
Yeah,
we got 2 really good ones. Well, for my fandom, 2 good ones at noon. 2 at 7:30, and then you have that's the only 3:30 game. So I was pretty fired up about that.
Yeah.
So don't suck, Florida State. That's all I'm
That's all
asking.
I got to do. Don't suck.
Just don't suck.
Just be better.
But I'm also going to go with the first or second most talented team, and that's Texas, top to bottom. You guys know I'm a little down. I guess in a comparison standpoint to the SEC, I'm a little down on Georgia. But that's like, I still think they might be the fifth best team in the country, but they're just unfortunately in this conference. Like in this conference up in the top 4 or 5, I feel like it's just so brutal. I believe in this Arch thing. It's just everybody just keeps all these big time experts. And again, Coach O's interview today helped me out even more so. It's like Arch is the real fucking deal, man. Arch is the real deal. He's like, if you could have one guy in college ball, it's like Arch Manning. It's just hard to get over that. And I think they're so talented on both sides of the ball right now. They get there. They're going to lose somewhere. For funsies, I want to say they lose the Red River. That could be that'd be so fun.
I'm with you on the gut feeling that they're going to lose somewhere. I don't know. I feel like it's Florida.
That's the tough one because it's the first.
Yeah. Well, just so
first
many
SEC road dog.
Well, it's not even just that. It's the way the schedule shakes out for Florida. Yeah, I know both teams get a bye week, but like Florida has LSU and Miami, and if things kind of go south and Florida's 2-2, it's like, oh yeah, okay, the national media is going to be, well, I don't want to say all of them, but some of the national media is going to be like, oh, Texas is going to go in and roll Florida by 21, and it's like, dude, that's still the swamp. That's still probably going to be the swamp at night. Like especially if DJ Lagway stays healthy, we're probably looking at, I think, 3-1 Florida because I think they'll get the Miami game and maybe lose to LSU. But like back-to-back road games, you got a bye week, and then Texas comes to town, man. That just sets up narratively for that to be huge for Florida.
Huge.
So,
and you guys know it. Miggie, we were just talking about this. Don't go to summer games. That's going to be the first. That's going to have that October 4th, that crisp air, you know?
Man, ain't nothing like no crisp air, man. I got to have it.
I know they don't have that down in Gainesville, but we'll fill it up here when they're down there in Gainesville for game day.
Yeah.
Weather will be great for us watching it on television.
Exactly. I'm going to put on a flannel that day.
There is nothing like eating breakfast on like a crisp October morning and just getting your grocery list ready to go down to your favorite grocery store and, you know, making sure, hey, let's put a little on FanDuel and DraftKings and let's just have a day. There's nothing like
exactly what that is.
Nothing like it.
To tell you guys where I'm at, I'm so ready for 2 weeks. I'm gonna get prepped this weekend. You know, I'm gonna do my walkthroughs for week 0. But next week, I've already thought about like going. In my mind, I was literally going down. I was like, man, I can't wait to go down to Food City. They always have great deals at the foot of the mountain. I'm gonna go down to Food City. They're gonna have that like chip tower that they make. It's like 10 foot tall. Yep. You know what I'm talking about? It's made of like it's all made of Diet Cokes and Dr. Peppers.
Yep. It says like UT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. You know what I'm talking about. You've been there. That's the best ones.
Come on, man. That's my favorite Food City. I will say I had a preseason game last night. Made some chicken wings.
They look good, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. You know, sometimes you got to get in regular season snaps in the preseason. So I just had to make sure. I think
that's what real winners do. That's what Cam Ward's doing, baby.
That's what Cam Newton does, man. Shout out number 2 getting his jersey retired, by the way.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Most unstoppable college football player I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, dude, absolutely carried that 2010 Auburn team.
Never seen anything like it. No. Because you're like, oh, there'll be more of these. Nope. Can't make those. Whatever lab he came out of.
But the same lab that Captain America came out of?
Same thing. Yep. Same guy.
Probably.
Yeah. Greatest of all time. Yeah, it's just one of those things that I just have a hard time denying Arch. And I know I may regret that because he's still a sophomore. It's still a brutal schedule. Like, I know all these people have brutal schedules, but as you mentioned, Joseph, at Florida, at Georgia,
Mhm.
and then I picked it as a game of the year. Canada. I still think that Texas A&M game could be a battle because that could be somebody fighting for that last spot.
Yeah,
because it was last year. It was a spot to go to Atlanta.
Mhm.
It was a spot to go to Atlanta.
Yep.
We could do it again. We could do it again, and somehow, some way, Mike Elko might have brought that magic from
I mean,
Durham, North Carolina.
I'm a little high on Texas A&M this year. I may have made them my sleeper team.
Did you think about it?
I did.
Did you guys have anybody else that, like, of the non-four we talked about, did you think about anybody else?
A&M.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who else did you think about, me?
South Carolina, bro.
I mean,
It took everything in me to not choose South Carolina. But the thing
what
is,
took you away
just
from South Carolina?
the fact that if Lenore Sellers gets hurt, they're not going to win a freaking game.
Yeah.
That's
You
what kept
know,
me away from Florida. That same thing. Is
If
that DJ Lagway was hurt.
If they get hurt, they're not going to win a game. But there is so much star power in these little pockets in the SEC that it's going to make this so entertaining. And then I know Drew's not going to want to hear this, but Diego Pavia is going to get somebody out of here, and I don't know who it's going to be. But Vanderbilt, it's just stupid. It's like there are different teams in the SEC that are just going to ruin all these hopes. And of course,
Yeah.
I hear y'all, but like, are y'all trusting Brian Kelly in 2025?
That's the only reason I don't have him in, because I think they're actually the most talented.
But it doesn't matter when you're coached by Chuck E. Cheese. You know, like let's be for real.
Coached by Chuck E. Cheese, too.
I think that's the point in the SEC this year, though, because I rattled off the stat. 10 of the last 11 have gone to Alabama and Georgia, right? And going into most of those seasons, you would say, yeah, Alabama and Georgia, proverbial favorites. If they're not, they're third. It doesn't go further than that. But this year, there's like 6 that you could see a case for. And then instead of like 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth being really bad, which I think the only truly bad team in this conference is Kentucky this year. Like, I think I know.
Well, you'll tell me 12th year senior Zach Calzada is not going to.
Zach Calzada was in the 2019 high school
Texas?
class.
Like
2019, he graduated a year before I did. I know that's I might put a date on myself.
Outing yourself there.
People are going to call me an idiot just because I'm only 23. But
dude, people will call you an idiot if you're 40.
Yeah,
it don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people,
that's true.
People,
I was called a moron.
Yeah,
as a father, I'm called a moron
dude,
by
it don't.
a radio station.
It's the
in
internet,
Atlanta.
man. Everybody's 7.
that's true.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the point. Like, there is the level, the floor of the SEC, the competitiveness across the board, I don't think has ever been better. I don't think I think it's one of those things that you could throw it in a simulation engine and it would play out tons of different ways each time.
Yeah.
The championship game specifically, not even the standings, because the standings, if you throw it in 100 times, they're going to be all different. But it's like, yes, there are those Vanderbilts, there are those South Carolinas, there are those Tennessees. I know we haven't talked about them somehow on the Chatt It Up Sports Show today, but they're just
not there.
Yeah. But they will ruin one of those teams that's, say they're 6-0. They go into Neyland.
Yeah,
they might. Tennessee definitely has the ability this year to do that. And in previous years, you'll get your one-offs. You'll get your like your Ole Miss losing to Kentucky. You'll get you'll get that, but you won't get. I think this year it's just gonna be carnage all across the board.
Yeah, and that's again, and I keep telling myself I feel like Alabama's gonna be the only one-loss team, but I feel like that's a stretch to say that, because I feel like it could be some stupid tiebreaker, and Alabama, Texas, Georgia, they all have 10 wins. I think that can happen.
Alabama, Texas, and Georgia can all get to 10-2.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then LSU will have 9. Like that could all. And then if Ole Miss has 9, it's all these things. Like, they're so close, and they're doing all this. There's just so many good coaches and so much talent that it's hard not to deny like how good it's going to be. But I also feel very unconfident all at the same time, because I'm like, It's going to come down to some stupid tiebreaker. And as you mentioned, we're talking like these guys can't have 1 week of injury during the SEC season. Arch goes down. I mean, who's Texas' backup quarterback right now? I'm sure you might know.
Off the top of my head, I don't.
And that's the thing is like, dang, dude, whoever you are, no offense, but you are the most
I know they
irrelevant.
got Diabell coming in, but he's a 2026 guy.
Yeah.
So
and they wanted to fill that gap just in case. So it's one of those deals that, man, and for any of the quarterbacks, golly bum, whoever's behind even Joey Aguilar right now it's not great. It's not great in Tennessee. So these quarterbacks are so valuable this year. Because, boy, have we seen what backup quarterbacks in the SEC look like.
Trey Owens, our man Trey Owens, is, according to our lads, is second on the depth chart behind Arch.
What year is young Trey?
A redshirt freshman.
Redshirt freshman. Oh,
Yeah, buddy.
That would be a real tough one. Hey, you know that Arch Manning fellow we thought was invincible? He's down for a couple weeks. We need you to step in, Trey. I don't think Malcolm Harris would be doing much DraftKings or FanDuel that way.
Oh, no, I would, just on the other team.
On that other team, that's right. Okay. Yeah, the Texas button would not be hit.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, what you guys are saying in terms of, like, quarterback play, because you really are an injury away, and you hear it a lot. Like, previous years, and I don't know if this is because of NIL, or, I mean, I know it is, but it's a lot of parity. And, like, the SEC is going to mess up the SEC. Like, and it's truly just it just is the lay of the land at this point. And now to take it a step further, you can't buy out coaches like you used to. You're stuck with what you got.
Those numbers are getting real high.
So
what do you think about Jimbo?
I don't know. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know, man. If somebody can buy out Jimbo Fisher, short of somebody having like $100 million buyout, I think you can find you can find a way.
I feel like the Jimbo buyout was the most irrational thing because you are so wealthy at Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like I don't think a lot of people quite understand how wealthy Texas A&M is.
I think you're seeing it with Texas.
Yeah,
and it's like Texas A&M also has that. Their pockets are deep, dude.
Money or more, and their desperation. I think Texas A&M is so desperate, and they believe. So it's like desperation on top of also believing you are Texas. I think that matters, and I think that combination is bad for these kind of buyout situations. I think it's the right thing. I don't think Jimbo is ever going to get you any further than what you got. So sure, you probably have a better coach now, I think, for where you're at. So it worked out, I guess, but I don't know how many of those we're going to get because that's a lot.
Yeah. It was like 75 or something stupid like that.
$75 million.
That's a lot of freaking money, bro.
To not coach football.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so much. I mean, I really can't even fathom that. I'd have that next year. I'd have a sick year, dude. We'd be me and the fam. We'd be going every country ever wanted to.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, 77.5.
God bless.
Was the buyout number?
Yeah. All right, here you go. Here's a check.
They owed him, and this is from 2023 from Pete Thamel on ESPN. They owed him $19.2 million within 60 days, and then they're going to pay him $7.2 million annually through 2031.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
It'll be a sweet little payday every year.
Basically $19 million signing bonus, not to coach.
Yeah,
and then
to sit at home.
$7 million. It's like a lawsuit. $7 million a year in damages.
I think
that's his retirement.
On top of that,
nice.
I think
Little pension. Yeah,
he's on TV too, right?
Is he now? I feel like all those guys either go there or
might be. I don't know, but
they fill a gap year.
Now I don't know what clauses are in that buyout if he takes another job. Like Texas A&M might be outed of some of that money, but we'll just have to see.
Probably so. I feel like it's like a 2 years. Usually those are like 2-year clauses.
Yeah,
that's why everybody takes that gap year.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready for the Big Ten?
Yep.
Because
Let's
we
do
were,
it.
what, 30 minutes in?
We're 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
40 minutes. Jesus.
Yep.
All right. Sorry, guys. Didn't exactly point guard that one. All right. We'll speed this up. All right. I feel like a lot of us have it. I questioned it every time I looked at it.
Mhm.
My first team in is going to be Penn State.
Okay.
Against my better judgment, I feel like they're the most talented team. I feel like they have the most trustworthy guys. They have two best running backs maybe in the whole conference. I'm sure there's somebody I'm forgetting that'll sneak up on me, especially. There's always some great running back, but they're both studs, man. Katron's awesome. Drew Aller just feels like he has to be pretty good. Sounds like they've done a good job with their wide receiving crew in the offseason, going to transfer portal, spending that money. I know you lose Abdul Carter, but it sounds like you're going to have a couple guys that are going to fill some gaps. And I'm thinking on his name, the other edge on the other side. You know, you're talking about Joseph.
Hang on.
They have another guy that's really good. I was just looking. Anyways, they have guys. They have guys again. They've gone out. They've gotten guys in the interior.
Denied Dennis Sutton.
Yes. They got some tackles in the transfer portal. They are going to still be very good on the defensive side of the ball.
Number 1 rated cornerback according to PFF and AJ Harris.
Yep.
Like,
which is tough because, I mean,
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
Jamad McCoy. You got a lot of these guys out here that are
Yeah.
been work out in the cornerback spots. I don't know. Maybe it's the saying starting. Maybe it's Dante Moore starting first year. I don't know. I just feel like the continuity. And damn, if you're ever going to do it, now's the time, Franklin. I felt last year might have been your best chance. This is by far your best chance.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, this is Penn State's best chance to win the Big Ten, because not only did Ohio State have a massive amount of roster turnover, they also had a lot of staff turnover. Jim Knowles is gone. Chip Kelly's gone. Brian Hartline's your new OC. Matt Patricia's your new DC, which looks good on paper. And it sounds, you can probably convince yourself that, but you're also starting a new quarterback.
Who
But you
apparently
still
can't
have.
learn the plays. I don't know if anybody else saw that.
I did not see that.
That's why they
Was
waited
he-
so long to name a starter. With
Oh,
saying,
really?
I saw that report the other day. Thought it was interesting.
Interesting. But you still have the two best players in college football in Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
your roster's still loaded with talent. Like, it's still Ohio State.
It's still Ohio State. You got a better DC. I like it. I don't love it because I feel very similar about the Big Ten. Is I think there's 4 or 5 teams that are just so solid up top, talent wise. A little bit more questionable than I think the SEC as far as quarterback play, but I'm picking Penn State. I think they get it done. They're going to win one of the Oregon versus Ohio State, and then I think the other 2 teams get their second loss somewhere. And the other one-loss team that will be playing them based on an unbelievably easy schedule. Everybody talks about how easy Nebraska's schedule is. I actually think this team has an easier schedule. The Fighting Illini will be playing the Nittany Lions in the Big Ten Championship.
Chase, we'll you know how we'll speed this up? We can actually skip mine because I have that exact same Big Ten
I knew I'd
Conference
make somebody a
championship.
believer because they're going to beat last year's Indiana because they're going to be this year's Indiana. They're going to beat Indiana. They're going to beat, I'm not doing it again. I'm not buying into USC. Sure, they may lose to Ohio State. Sweet. It's the only loss they're going to have. And then Rutgers, Washington, Maryland, and Wisconsin, who I do not have any belief in, and Northwestern better be a lot better. And I don't think they are. I think those are some pretty bad teams. The Fighting Illini, continuity, Altmaier, Brown,
Beamer ball. Or Bielema ball. Excuse me.
Bielema ball.
Yeah, excuse me.
Close.
Yeah.
deal
Same
him a
thing.
ball. Give me him to lose probably by a lot against Penn State in the championship, but they're going to get there. Win ugly, boys. Back to you, Joseph.
God dang it, dude. I have never been more on the fence about I have, because the Big 12 is still coming up. I have rotated these 3 teams because I know who I have as 3 teams to win the Big Ten, and it's between Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State. I have rotated these 3 teams in and out. When I first picked it, it was Penn State, Oregon. I thought it'd be a rematch, but then I looked at myself and I realized Oregon and Ohio State don't play each other. So let me go Oregon, Ohio State, because until Penn State does it, I'm going to stay on this train. Until Penn State does it, they're not going to do it. So
I feel that as somebody that has Tennessee, Florida. Yeah.
Everything in my heart and in my gut is telling me Penn State's the logical choice here. 2 of the best running backs in the country. You get Trevor Penn out of Syracuse, who was almost a 1,000-yard receiver with Kyle McCord. Your defense is going to be incredible. You get Jim Knowles from Ohio State to come coach your defense.
Yeah.
So everything in me wants to pick Penn State, but out of sheer damn stubbornness, I'm not going to, because I'm not going to let James Franklin Brian Kelly me from 2024. Okay. So I picked Oregon and Ohio State to play in the Big Ten title game.
Yeah.
Out of just sheer doubt in Penn State's ability to win when they are an underdog, because they will probably be an underdog at Ohio State this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be slightly favored over Oregon because they get them at home and it's the whiteout game. But damn it, James, just beat Oregon and beat Ohio State and go to the Big Ten title game and prove me wrong, because I'm not going to put you in it until I see you on the ticket. I think Ohio State's still really good. I don't know if they're going to be quite as good as they were. They're not going to be quite as good as they were last year. I don't have to sit there and think about that to know that. But they still have Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis and Carnell Tate, and that makes playing quarterback not easy, but definitely makes it easier. I worry a little bit about losing Evan Stewart for Oregon, but I trust the hell out of Dan Lanning, and I think Oregon's going to be a pain in the ass to play because they are going to be physical as hell. Mateo Uyunglele is going to have a huge year for Oregon.
He's going to have a massive year.
I think they're going to get it figured out with Dante Moore. I think DeCorian Moore is also going to be not as good as Jeremiah Smith was last year, but I think he will establish himself pretty well.
He better, man.
And again, you can, I know it's supposed to be analysis and numbers and it makes sense. And everything I looked at is like, it should be Penn State against Oregon or Ohio State. But I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it until James goes into the shoe and beats Ohio State. So give me Ohio State versus Oregon, and give me Oregon to win the Big Ten in back-to-back years for Dan Lanning.
Very nice. Look, if Dante Moore is solid, I don't think there's any way you leave Oregon out of that game, right? Like, it would take a lot of injury. It would take some bad luck, because unlike James Franklin on the opposite side, now I know they got beat like a stepchild versus Ohio State last year in the college football playoff, but I do trust Dan Lanning's ability to win the big one. And I do trust Dan Lanning's ability to, if he is a 3.5-point underdog on the biggest stage, that's still pretty much an even game. Not for betting lines, but to me, in my mind, when I'm watching the game, I walk in there, I'm like, yeah, it's either home field advantage, or if it's on a neutral field, I'm like, okay, maybe they have the slight edge, but you can still win.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Penn State. They should, by every metric, be the no doubt number one team in the nation on all these polls. And I mean, like when I first saw the polls, I was like, wow, everybody thinks how we've thought. James Franklin is really that limiting to his own team in the biggest stages, because they put Texas up there, which is not unprecedented, but it would be very hard to find a time that somebody who has never started their quarterback is the number one team in the nation. Like, yes, they started Arch versus Mississippi State, and I know he played a little bit in Georgia, and I think he beat the hell out of UTSA, but like that, I mean, but like, they have a fifth-year senior who is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation,
and who fits the mold.
They have and they have a two-headed monster running back, and they have, oh my gosh, you said his name already. What was his name?
Trevor Penna?
No, the
Denied Dennis Sutton.
Yeah, Denied Dennis Sutton.
Yeah,
like they have PFF's number one rated cornerback. Like
all the things, the list is there.
The boxes are all checked.
If you checked all these boxes for any other team, they would be no doubt the number one team.
Wouldn't even be close.
It would be
nobody else would receive votes.
If this was Alabama bringing all this back and they had that script A on the side of their head instead of just a white and blue striped helmet, they'd be number one, even with the Arch hype. Because don't get me wrong, I do feel like the Arch hype is carrying a lot of Texas's number 1 ranking
Got me.
because they're only bringing back a few starters on offense. And I know, same case I made for Georgia earlier, they didn't really attack the transfer portal, so they believe in their offensive line. I just need James Franklin to do it. Just Shia LaBeouf, dude, just do it. And then all this goes away. And your team gets – go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And your team gets accurately ranked, because I do think if this was Oregon, if this was USC, if USC was bringing back all the players that Penn State's bringing back, and Lincoln Riley was the head coach, I think they'd be ranked number 1.
No doubt about it.
You
What
said
you got,
something.
Miggie?
You said something, and it was, what'd you say? Like Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
Just do it, dog.
Yeah.
Just win the Big Ten, James. Just win the Big Ten.
Yeah, we're ditching Nike to go to Adidas, dog, because he can't do it. He can't do it. I'm letting you know it's not going to happen. And I'm just going to be completely transparent and be fast with this one because we got 2 other conferences. This is the Ohio State Invitational. Make no mistake. They have the best 2 college football players on each side of the ball in the country. It's done. When your second option is Carnell Tate, who could literally go anywhere else in the country and be a 1, that's an issue. So with that being said, it's going to be Ohio State versus a team nobody has talked about. Nobody has said this one time while I'm sitting here listening, and I'm just like, this is crazy. And it's going to be a shocker. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are going to the
Biggie, stop.
Yes.
And the reason why is because year 3 Matt Rule, every single time he is in year 3, his teams elevate, and he has proven pudding into why. At Temple, he went from 2-10 in year 1 to 6-6 in year 2 to 10-4 in year 3, 10-3 year 4. 1-11 at Baylor, 7-6 the next year, 11-3 the next year. He was 5-7 in 2023 with Nebraska, 7-6 last year, with 4 games, guys, being 1-score games and losses. He took Ohio State to the brink. People don't talk about this. Ohio State barely survived against Nebraska. And we talk about quarterback play. Dylan Raiola is really freaking good. He's just very cringy because he's a Pat Mahomes wannabe, but he can play football. And we're about to see it up and close. I think Nebraska, given their schedule that I am looking at right now as we speak, there are not a lot of games that scare me. Cincinnati, Akron, Houston Christian versus Michigan at home versus Michigan State at Maryland, at Minnesota versus Northwestern versus USC at UCLA, at Penn State, and versus Iowa. Their last game, really at Penn State, is going to decide whether they go to the Big Ten Championship. And I don't know a James Franklin-led team that is good enough to seize the moment, because I've seen it for the last decade, what all his teams do, and they just crumble, and they take on the identity of a head coach. Give me Nebraska versus Ohio State.
You know, something to note, and I love that you brought up Nebraska, because that was my dark horse team for the Big Ten. That was my sleeper, even though it's not really a sleeper. It's just, the term I threw out. I love that you brought up them playing at Penn State, because Penn State, Nebraska gets a bye before they go to Penn State.
Yeah.
And they're coming off of playing at Minnesota, Northwestern, USC, at UCLA. They get a bye week before they go to Penn State. Penn State's coming off Ohio State at home. At Ohio. Penn State's coming off at Ohio State, Indiana, at Michigan State before they play Nebraska. It's interesting to think about.
Something to note.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Hey, that is a good pick, because that schedule, dude, it just, not only that, that's a good point by you for the Penn State part of it, is even your toughest game is that they're battered, they're bruised, man. They're coming back.
They are limping, bruh.
Dude, they are coming back from wars weeks before.
Yeah.
And you get, now, if this was a transition week when it's like the 3 time zones thing, like you come from UCLA back to Penn State, which I know they're trying to eliminate those, you do the whole coast to coast, And back-to-back weeks, that'd be really tough.
Oh,
But
yeah.
having that bye
Yeah.
week where you just stop off in Nebraska for a few weeks.
Yep.
And then you go back out east. That helps. That changes a lot of stuff.
It does, brother.
But you're wrong. So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. Anything else? Because I know we had the same picture.
Yeah. No, just not on either of those two teams. I think it's well documented how I feel and how we all feel about Penn State. Dark horse, somebody fun that I haven't heard a lot about. I like Michigan State. I don't really have a reason for it, but I like Michigan State. I've always liked Michigan State. They have a pretty tough schedule, but that would be my
Pesky.
dark horse.
Pesky, if you will.
As Miggie mentioned earlier, college football is cyclical, and it right about now feels about the time that Michigan State goes 9-3 for a few years, and then they tail back off. So that's all I got on that one.
All right.
Where are we at? Big 12?
We're at ACC.
ACC. Ooh.
ACC. Here we go.
All right.
I'm thinking I'm going to change this as we
Oh,
talk.
God.
All right, gentlemen. Yeah, as we've said, this was the hardest to pick because the Big 12 was basically roulette, and so I didn't feel as much pressure there. But here, I feel like, and our friend up in Knoxville has surprised me twice already, so I feel like he's not going to – I feel like all four of us should have one of these teams in the conference championship. So my first team is Clemson. If Clemson doesn't make it to the conference championship this year, it's on every factor for them. It is a failure. It is an absolute failure, and it is probably, in my opinion, not that they would be the worst team in college football if they went 9-3, but it would be the worst failure to live up to expectations of the season, barring Texas is 8-4 or 7-5. But
Or Penn State doesn't make the
sure,
Big
they don't
Ten
make the
title
Big Ten
game.
title game, but there's reasons for both of those. Maybe Arch Manning's just not ready. Maybe he needs another year. Okay, James Franklin can't cut it. Got it. Those are understandable reasons.
Is that
Yeah.
That's just
if you're a Penn State fan, that is not an understandable
Well,
reason.
no.
Well-
Now, if Drew Aller gets hurt, then you're like, okay,
Well, sure. Sure.
Yeah.
But with this Clemson team, they have no excuse. I can't find one. Like, they just should not have an excuse not to make this. Now, the college football playoff, if they lose in the first round, I'm not going to feel like that's not a failure in my mind. Like, is it disappointing for Clemson fans? Do they think that they should be better? Yes, they do. But they are going to be taking on the Pittsburgh Panthers. Sophomore Eli Holstein. And I don't know if a lot of people remember this, but Pittsburgh was actually undefeated.
They were like 7-0 last
for
year.
7 games last year. And they were the worst 7-0 team ever. And I may have completely just tanked this pod's legitimacy, but I don't
Uh-oh.
care. Pittsburgh is fun. They are really fun. All right. They have got Eli Holstein returning. I don't know if you know this. They have 2 preseason All-American first teamers. They've got Kyle Lewis as a linebacker, and they've got, I'm going to forget his name. Hold on. They've got Desmond Reed coming out of the backfield, a senior who runs all over everybody.
I was looking at the first team, and I was like, somebody will pick that.
Now, I understand why they're not, because it's just so hard to pick Pittsburgh for the ACC. But look, they've got the continuity. It's Pittsburgh. Their schedule is, it's not incredible. Like, it's not super friendly.
How much worse is Louisville? How much better is Florida State?
How much worse is Boston College? How much worse is Syracuse?
Right.
How much better is NC State?
But they also take on Notre Dame.
That doesn't count for the conference game.
Right. I get that.
So
But
that one-
I mean, I'm just talking about an overall strength
Yeah.
of schedule,
Oh,
week
yeah,
in and
yeah,
week
yeah.
out. Like,
It's not bad.
now this was I did switch this because at first I had Georgia Tech, and then I looked over on Chase's laptop and he had Georgia Tech. So I was like, all right, I don't want to pick the same 2 teams back to back or the same conference matchup. And then I was already kind of getting off of Georgia Tech just because I don't know, man. I don't know, but
I know, dude.
Yeah.
The second team in the ACC.
Yeah, the second team in the ACC gets to lose to Clemson, but
should
lose to Clemson. But here's the thing. Miami, I don't know. I don't know. Like, they certainly have the potential to make me look like an idiot when Pittsburgh's 6-6 at the end of the year, and they're 10-2, and they locked it up the week before. But I don't know about Miami. I like, there's so many question marks. I mentioned this on the last pod about when I talked over their Florida Miami game. Early season Miami may be nothing like late season Miami. Like, they may be two completely different football teams.
They probably won't be anything. They'll probably evolve. But I've seen Carson Beck without weapons.
It's not great.
It's rough. So, and what is Miami going to do? I think the defense is going to be incredible for Miami. It's going to be really nasty. But throw the uncertainty at weapons for Carson Beck on top of the fact that Mario's guaranteed to just toss a game that he shouldn't. Like, how much faith do I put in Miami to make the ACC title game?
I can't do it. I couldn't do it.
No. And I mean, SMU, I kicked the tires on them a little bit, and we've talked about it. I think SMU's due for a little step back. I think it's really easy to do. Not that it's easy, but it's easy to do it once when nobody sees you coming. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but especially in one of these, in the lower two conference, Power 4 conferences, it's easy to do it once. It is incredibly hard to do it twice. Ask TCU.
Bingo.
Like, I mean, that's kind of where it's at. Louisville, I don't know. Straight up, I couldn't get a good read. So I went fun. I went with
they were somebody I actually was trying to talk myself into. I like Miller Moss there. Got one of the best running backs in the conference. It's not the hardest schedule in the world, but it's not the easiest. So I couldn't fully buy in. I just couldn't fully buy in. I kind of wanted to. Because I think Miller's going to have a better time there. I think that's one of those, like, oh, yeah, he had a really nice year. He was okay at USC. I didn't think he was star power. He was okay at times. And they'll be better. They'll have a nice run game, and they'll beat somebody they're not supposed to. But, yeah, I couldn't talk myself into them. All right, Miggy.
Yeah, I am going to go with the team that lost 4 games last year by a combined 9 points. And it's crazy. This is nuts. But the schedule is literally playing Chuck E. Cheese Tech and Burger King State College and University. The California Golden Bears, to me, are going to make a Lynn Sanity.
God.
And I'm going to walk you through it. Just bear with me. At Oregon State versus Texas Southern, Minnesota, San Diego State, Boston College, Duke, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Virginia, Louisville, Stanford, and versus SMU. Guys, the only team last year to really just blow them out was SMU. Getting a 9-10 win ACC schedule puts you in the championship conversation. And this is by far the easiest schedule in the conference.
It does sound like the easiest schedule.
Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you a question just real
quick?
Bro.
Yeah, bro.
Do you know who Cal's starting quarterback was last year?
Who was that?
There's a man by the wonderful name of Francisco Mendoza.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do you know where Francisco Mendoza is right now?
Where is he at, bro?
Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand. I get it. And I know it's crazy, but I'm just looking at the schedule and I'm looking at trends. But this belongs to Clemson. I'm going to say it because nobody else is going to state it. If Dabo doesn't win the conference outright, you got to fire him. That's how I feel.
Wow. Okay.
You got to fire him, and I'll put my name attached to it.
Don't do that, please.
Like seriously, like this is pitiful. This is pitiful. Like, who else is gonna? Like, Miami's not gonna do it, bro. SMU's gonna take a step back. Florida State is reeling. This is a gift. This is a gift for Dabo. This is like AARP. It's like, here, take it.
What?
You know?
Malcolm, dude. I love you so much.
What's in that drink you got? Man?
It's not. Here's the thing: as a guy that just picked the Pittsburgh
Yeah, it's very true.
Panthers, look, it's not the worst idea ever to just find the easiest schedule in the ACC and go with it. I will say, California travels the most out of any team in the country, and that's I can't ever see them or Stanford winning a conference championship for that reason alone. Like, unless their team is like half AI, where they don't they can just shut them down, press the off button, and then ship them out in 2052. Like, it's just going to be incredibly difficult for them to win anything when they're flying 16-hour flights from California to Durham, North Carolina. Like,
unless Stanford gets Christian McCaffrey 2.0
or
and Andrew Luck 2.0.
Sherman. Yeah,
yeah, you better bring it.
I mean, those days are long gone for the Stanford Cardinals, sadly. And I mean, Cal, have they really ever been great? No.
Aaron Rodgers and Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, sure.
Javid Best.
Yeah, like they have
Javid Best.
What a pull, dude.
Pull
that one out, Miggie.
Like, they have fun names.
Pull out game strong.
But again, it's the ACC, dude. Like, I mean, I feel like I know Clemson's going to be there, but
yeah,
do we really know? No, we don't.
Well, shit. Who's your random team?
My random team? Oh, brother. It ain't random. Your boy Drew's onto something with Pat Narduzzi and the Pitt Panthers, baby. Let me tell you boys something, okay? You know who returns the most starters in the ACC?
Yes, they do.
Who's
Clemson. It's Clemson. It's Clemson Tigers. You know who returns the second most starters?
Let me guess.
The Pitt Panthers, baby. The Pitt Panthers,
who were 7-0 last year.
I think you made the case, man. I mean, Eli Holstein, Pat Narduzzi, who doesn't believe in the forward pass, but for some reason they kind of do it. I'm all with you. Put me on the Pitt train, man. I think they could beat. I looked for a reason to pick Louisville because I really like Jeff Brom, and I also liked that they picked up Miller Moss.
Yeah.
But I just, looking at the returning starters for Pitt, and the style of football they like to play, which is gritty, rough. Watching them in the rain last year versus Cal felt like torture. Almost felt like being visually waterboarded. Yeah. I'm riding with Narduzzi and the Pitt Panthers, man. Give me Pitt to make the ACC title game against Clemson. Teams that do not play each other in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you, Malcolm. I think this is Clemson's title game to lose. I'm pretty sure we all kind of feel that way because it was pretty much Clemson and for us.
Yeah.
I think Clemson should, without a shadow of a doubt, win this conference, kind of going away this year. A little bit of return to form to Dabo and an ACC dominance. I don't think anybody really has a chance to dethrone Clemson unless something just catastrophic happens. Knock on wood, hope the best for Cade Klubnik and all the boys out there. But looking at Pitt's schedule, man, you've got your toughest ACC games at home. So you get Miami at home, you get Louisville at home, you're on the road at Georgia Tech, which is tough. But from FanDuel's odds, Louisville's the highest rated team you play to win the conference title game. You don't play SMU, you don't play Duke, you don't play Florida State. I think Pitt, or you do play Florida State. Sorry, you're at Florida State. But Florida State's coming off what was just a implosion of a season.
Yeah.
I like the consistency for Pitt when there's a lot of question marks in the ACC.
Look, they were 7-0.
They were 7-0 before they ripped off.
Now
6 straight losses, including
catching the wave of momentum there, gentlemen.
Including a game above Sports Bowl loss to Toledo.
Yeah, they did
in 6 overtimes. Listen, put all that aside, and just.
You want me to put the 6 straight?
I want you to put the 6 straight losses far in the back of your mind.
Sometimes you know when you're overperforming, and it gets to you as a team.
Yeah.
Sometimes you know you shouldn't be 7-0.
Yeah.
And then the expectations, they keep snowballing, and it keeps getting worse and worse on you. But listen, there's something there with Eli Holstein. I don't know what it is, but the guy.
Threw for 381 last year against North Carolina.
I just think he is a winner. That's
Stop. Do not use that as a stat.
I'm just saying,
we
man,
could have thrown
like-
for 300 plus against Carolina last year.
Dude,
dog.
listen, he dropped 73 against Youngstown State, and he only threw for 247. I'm just saying, man.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I'm just saying, if you would have stopped me at the beginning of the 2024 season and said, "Hey, list the names of the teams that are going to drop 70 this year," Pitt would not have been on that list. But damn it, going into this year, they just might be. So
hot, boys.
give me the Pitt Panthers
plus
to play, not to win,
How much?
not to win,
to make it plus 1,500. Look, that's good
just
value.
to play Clemson in the SEC in the ACC title game, not the SEC title game. Sorry, Pitt would get absolutely railed. in the SEC. But give me them being just good enough, and the conference as a whole past Clemson being just bad enough to where the ACC's like, well, we got to stick somebody else in this game, and that somebody else just happens to be the Pitt Panthers.
Wow.
I think Chase is changing his pick.
No, I can't do
think
it.
Chase is trying to evaluate what the hell he's listening to right
I just
now.
got 3 answers that I mean, boys, I was like, I kind of chuckled. I was like, somebody might pick that for funny, whatever. I didn't actually think you guys would do it. I definitely didn't expect Cal.
Listen, you're talking about the guy last year who bought in and had Miami and Florida State in the ACC title game. I bought into DJU, okay? I bought the worst stock you could buy, and it blew up in my face. So I thought, let's have some fun with it this year. I don't know who Clemson's going to play.
We just know that Clemson's going to beat somebody.
Yeah. Now, I tried to make this SMU. I really did.
No.
I tried to make it Rhett Lashley and Kevin Jennings, but they're returning 2 starters on defense. And I'm kind of like Drew. You got them last year. You got the ACC last year. I don't. Just because you played in the ACC title game last year does not mean that you are going to trend upwards the following year. So I couldn't bring myself to do it with SMU. And I looked at, what do I know about these teams? I know Pitt's bringing back a hell of a lot of dudes. And they're not fun to play because they will drag you in the mud in some 15-11. Somehow you're hitting 11 game. And it's just going to be ugly. And it's not fun to watch, but it's the Pitt Panthers, man.
Okay. Flabbergasted, if you will. But I respect it because it doesn't really matter. I've never felt so sure about Clemson getting in. That's why I feel like they might not somehow, because it took Syracuse beating Miami to get them in last year in the last game of the season, regular season. So I was very shocked. I was like, man, I kind of forgot how close that was for them not to make it. They're the most talented team. Like, I guess they're the head and shoulders best team per pound for pound in a conference.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like as a conference leader.
Yeah, like in terms of their
Like
relative
getting away
power
from-
rating versus the rest of the conference's relative. Yeah, Clemson's got to be
I-
miles above.
I can't get there on Miami because, like, who the hell is he throwing it to? Because that's another one. I was trying to get there with him, with Beck, Cristobal. I know they did a good job in the transfer portal. I get it. You get to sell people on Miami, but I can't get sold on Cristobal. He's got a different vibe, but it's similar-ish to how I feel about James Franklin sometimes. Like, I just feel like James Franklin's team's so damn talented, he can't screw it up.
Yeah, but it's just like you said last year when it comes to Cristobal. It's like all you have to do is not lose to Syracuse, and you did it.
Somehow.
You've done this multiple times.
They almost lost to Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
that
where
would've-
you just
that would have been the
they
true-
should have
true fit.
lost
Yeah.
to Virginia
It
Tech.
took the refs
Yeah,
handing them that one.
like
Yeah.
multiple games.
It's due. It just happens. That's who he is as a coach. And I kind of hate that for the guy. Seems like a great dude. Everybody loves him.
It's who he is as a coach until he's not.
Yeah.
Until whether it's a coordinator hire or whatever it takes, it's who he is as a head coach until he's not.
Like, I mean, Cal, Pitt. How about the North Carolina Tar Heels? I'm just kidding.
Oh, thank
I
goodness.
was so ready for you to defend that. I was so ready for you to defend
No.
You know,
that.
Chase, it's really funny because, like, throughout all the college football news that I've consumed getting ready for this pod and stuff, I don't know the name of one player on North Carolina's roster. I feel like they're hiding it from everybody. Like,
Besides Max Johnson, like there's nobody to know.
Who's-
Everybody transferred.
Who's almost like Zach Calzada level.
He's
Max
20
Johnson's
he's
been
24.
around for a while.
He's starting the year at 24. He's not gonna be 24. He is
so he's,
24.
he's Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
You guys will be fun.
No. It's so funny to look on other people's rosters. Like Texas Tech has our best linebacker. There's just,
Ohio State has your best D lineman,
Exactly.
Bo Atkinson.
Utah has our best offensive tackle, I believe. Yeah, all these things. I'm like, we only had a few good guys last year. Now they're all gone. I don't know what you're gonna do. Like, I'm sorry, Belichick may be the greatest coach of all time, but getting this team to 6-6 would be awesome.
Yeah.
There's my
Yeah.
side ACC tangent as
Yeah.
I'm wearing. This is one of my favorite shirts, and I can fit into it now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I lost some weight, so I'm feeling really good about myself.
Hell yeah. All right. Give us your ACC pick.
Georgia Tech. I'm still on the train.
Mhm.
I think 2 losses can get you there. I think Clemson gets them early because I think they got shottied on the time. I think a noon game at home kind of sucks. If that would have been a night game, I would have probably embraced the physicality at Georgia Tech, Atlanta, and the lights, like the whole thing. I probably would have sold myself on it. But they're probably going to lose that game. And I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if they lose another one besides Georgia. I think that's their 2 losses, but I don't think they lose another ACC matchup. So I think we get a redemption matchup. Haynes is going to ball out this year. Also 24 years old. So I believe in Haynes. I don't think their schedule – it's so tough because nobody's schedule's good in the ACC.
Yeah.
I think Louisville actually might have the toughest schedule of all of them because
Yeah.
they play like the only 2 ranked teams.
Mhm.
But that's it. Like, or the 3 ranked teams, I guess. But these are some shoddy schedules. I think Georgia Tech's going to out-physical a lot of people. And they just got to lose early and keep rolling, beat Wake, beat Virginia Tech. You got Virginia Tech at home. Duke on the road, whatever. Syracuse at home, fine. I mean, at Boston College is your other feel out, maybe. I don't know. This is a bad schedule. And so I think they kind of roll out. I think they're going to play everybody tough. They're going to be the team that nobody wants to play. I know this is not a shocker pick from everybody else's perception because I know this Georgia Tech train has been jumped on a lot. It's no Pittsburgh. It's no Cal. But it's a gold team as well. So Clemson's going to go in there and beat them. And you know what? If Clemson weren't to make it to this ACC championship, fire him. Send it.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, I'm off of that.
Do
train.
it.
Do not put me on
Do
the.
it.
Do not put me on the
Put
fire.
me on that train.
When this gets clipped, just know me and the guy behind on the other side of the camera, we were not in on the Dabo train.
You can't ever fire that guy. He's
Yeah,
going to
no,
leave on his own.
Yeah, he's a Clemson lifer.
Yeah. Unless he leaves on his own terms.
No ACC love for Duke. Getting Darian Mensah from
Couldn't do it.
Tulane.
Kick the
Couldn't-
tires.
Yeah,
Just
I
remember,
mean,
I remember what they were last year. It's really hard for me to believe they're going to be that much of a different team.
returning their whole offensive line.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I can't.
losing.
Losing Elko was like shit.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that Northwestern game from them last year? Did anybody else
Probably,
watch
yeah.
that? I don't know. I
Do
can't
I,
get
do
that
I
out of my
remember it?
brain.
No, but I probably did watch it. Wait.
It's played at Northwestern's like temporary.
Oh yeah. On the
temporary,
like the soccer
waterfront-
field.
the
dude.
waterfront
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it was so
Yeah.
ugly.
Great-
That
great-
game was so ugly.
great view.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah,
I
that
do
one's.
remember that. That was
Yeah,
rough.
I can't get that out of my brain. That's the only thing I see when I see Duke.
That's
I'm trying to remember that game.
cautionary tales, dude.
Oh yeah, went to double OT.
Yeah, double OT. You think the game's good? No. How many
No,
points
no.
were scored in that game? Like 30, if that.
It's 26-20 was the final.
Oh my gosh, can't believe we got that high.
I think most of them were at the end too.
Malik Murphy, man.
Big 12.
Wow, they had some very strange. They took
They were
SMU
9
to
and
the-
4 last year.
Yeah,
man.
they took SMU to the wire.
They were a pit 9-4 though. That Did they start 7-0 or was it 6?
No,
Hold
they
on.
started 5-0.
Hold,
5-0.
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
They did play these better than I thought.
Yeah.
They lost Georgia Tech.
Barely lost to
24-14.
SMU.
They barely beat.
They kind of got
Florida
crushed
State.
by Miami. But I think, the Miami game was a little back and forth, and then it kind of got
Buddy,
busted
you are
open.
very right. 53-31.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'm just saying, man. Darian Mensah from Tulane. You got some guys coming back on the offensive line. You got
Tar Heels are
5
gonna-
guys coming back on defense.
Tar Heels are going to get them this year.
I mean,
Watch out.
okay. We'll see. Manny Diaz, dude. You can't sell yourself on Manny Diaz?
It's not the hardest thing to do. I mean, you could really tell me anybody. I mean, I jokingly,
Mhm.
the Pittsburgh thing, I'm like, maybe. It's just whoever wants to go face Clemson. I hate
Yeah.
to say that. It's just whoever, because Clemson's so talented on the defensive side of the ball, and I think their wide receivers are going to step up so well. I think and God bless, I don't want this to happen. I think they could win quite a few games without Klubnik.
Oh, Clemson?
Yeah.
Probably.
They could.
I don't want. Yeah.
no, do not want that. I'm
no.
just saying, like, that's the talent disparity we see with them right now.
If you had to guess, like, I'm looking at the odds for FanDuel to win the ACC. Duke versus Pittsburgh. Who do you think's higher?
I know the answer.
Is it Duke?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Do you
How
know what
much,
the difference is?
Plus 400?
Pittsburgh is plus 4,000 to win the ACC. Duke's at plus 2,700.
No way.
The FanDuel's much higher on Duke than they are on Pitt. They must
DraftKings-
really like that
DraftKings
Darian
is plus
Mensah.
4,000.
They must have not
Right.
done the research. You
Or
guys
plus
did.
4,500, excuse me.
Well, I mean, listen, man. We
Research, yeah.
listen. I'm putting a lot of faith
They-
in Pat Narduzzi, who's a guy who does not particularly care for the forward pass.
They didn't overlook those 6 straight losses like you guys did.
They did not overlook the bowl loss to Toledo. So
Yeah.
They did not.
Look,
but
and
you know
maybe,
what?
I may be partial to Pitt because they won me a decent amount of money last year because I got on the train early, and then
That
I
matters.
may be a little bit biased towards them.
I love that for you, but this was all vibes pick for me.
all vibes.
all
I
vibes.
love it. I'm all vibes. Speaking of all vibes, are you guys ready for the Big 12?
Yeah, this is literally just like
We'll go pretty
All
fast. Favorite coach at Utah, and one for our boy GT because they might be the funnest team to watch in the Baylor Bears. Sawyer Robinson. That might be the best offense. You're throwing to Cameron, you're throwing to Hawkins. They might score a shit ton of points. I don't know if their defense is going to be better. I don't know. But if it's just marginally better, could be a good team. And I feel like we have mentioned the Baylor Bears because like somebody plays them on our schedule. And we're like, I don't know. Can they beat them? So give me Baylor, Utah, bring in the New Mexico State boys up to the beautiful state of Utah to bring them home. I kind of believe in them.
so.
So who wins?
So who wins?
God, this makes me feel so dumb. One for you, GT. Baylor Bears. Your Big 12 champions.
You're not alone.
Hell yeah.
In the champion, you might be alone, but in someone who makes the conference title game, you're not alone. I also went with Baylor as one of my conference championships.
I love it.
Looking at Drew's face. Oh, dude, Baylor's going 6-6, dude.
Yeah,
I'm so
we have
sorry,
no
Dave
chance.
Miranda.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we tried, Miranda.
Yeah. You get your toughest Big 12 games at home. You got Arizona State at home, K-State at home. You got Utah at home. You got 13 returning starters on offense, or 13 returning starters, 8 on offense, 5 on defense.
Yep.
Sawyer Robinson looks to progress this year. So I had Baylor playing. You picked favorite coach in the Big 12. I picked the coach I trust the most in the Big 12, and you can damn be for sure it's not Mike Gundy. Matt Campbell and the Iowa State Cyclones,
Yeah.
baby.
Wow.
Give me Rocco Beck
Yeah.
and the boys playing Baylor in the Big 12 title game. You got 14 returning starters, 9 on offense, 5 on defense. Matt Campbell has established himself as consistently okay at Iowa State as you can be.
Consistently okay.
As you can
That
be
is the
okay
perfect.
at Iowa State. He has done more for that program than a lot of other coaches have done for other programs. So yeah, give me Iowa State and Baylor, and I got Iowa State winning and getting revenge for their loss last year in the Big 12 title game.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. Miggie, what team would you like to get wrong too?
Yeah, well, I won't get the team wrong because my timing's always perfect, man. The Colorado Buffaloes are going to win this conference.
Who will they be beating in the championship game?
In the championship game, they're going to beat
He says Kansas.
Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Oh,
Nice.
Joey McGuire and
Yeah.
the boys. Okay.
The mercenary.
Yeah, I was going to pick Texas Tech, but literally their star running back that transferred from USC blew out his knee in this last Saturday's conference. It was a scrimmage. So yeah, he's done for the year. He was going to be a big focal point of the offense, but no, man. I mean, I think that Caden Salter could easily be this year's Cam Ward. I really do. I love what I've seen from Caden. I was really high on him when he was at Tennessee, but he got dismissed because he was young and foolish. Tore it up at Liberty. I like it. I think Colorado has a lot of talent. I think they are a better team than they were last year. I think they were not that great last year, but also they had really good players, meaning Shador Sanders.
Two of the best players, yeah.
And they had a Heisman winner. So I look at this conference and I mean, outside of Kansas State, I think Arizona State's going to take a step back because people know and have figured it out. I like Iowa State.
Yes.
However, listen, man, you don't have all that talent in Boulder and not do anything with it. So I think you give me Colorado and Texas Tech.
I don't know. It's a crapshoot. That could definitely happen.
I know Drew remembers, but last year, Caden Salter
Oh gosh.
played a winless Kennesaw State team. And boy, they just looked horrendous.
Bad.
Dude, it was a foggy night.
Oh, one of his contacts had fallen out.
It was a foggy night in Kennesaw, dude.
Dude, they'll get you. Those foggy nights in Kennesaw.
Those
get
foggy
you, man.
nights in
Don't
Kennesaw.
sleep.
Hey, I done had 1 or 2 foggy nights in Kennesaw, dog.
don't sleep on foggy nights in
Those foggy
Kennesaw,
nights,
dog.
I do remember that because it did look eerie.
Yep.
And I was like,
Liberty, I think, was
Yeah.
undefeated at the time.
They were.
And keep in mind, it's Kennesaw State's first year in FBS. Nobody else has had to deal with it yet.
I
Caden
mean,
Salter was the first
was-
the first one there.
Sacrificial lamb, dude.
the victim.
Like,
That's the thing is like they win, they're probably in over Boise State.
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah. and they just
Even though they would have gotten absolutely just
demolished.
ass blasted.
Oh,
My bad. Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could take the only F word this pod.
Oh, you got it, bro.
That's
You
the
got
best.
it. Let it
You
fly.
don't need it.
I think that's spices.
I don't think we've had that phrasing yet. I absolutely love it.
Because
Because that's
but you're not
exactly
wrong.
But yeah, it's exactly right.
yeah, yeah. I'll stop there. I'm not going to go any further adjectives on Liberty, but
That's the best one you could possibly come.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to change my entire pick.
I
So
love it.
I don't.
No, why?
Okay,
No.
I'll give you my original pick.
Give us your original.
And then I wasn't too confident in it to begin with, so I'm going to go ahead and change it. My original pick was Baylor and TCU.
Drew, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Because none of us are very confident.
Yeah, I get it.
Where would you
Listen,
put where's
this is
where's your confidence meter at? Just as a totality.
like on the Big 12 or like okay,
As
you
your
mean
te-
like
as your
1 to
teams.
10 on the Big 12 or like
1 to
this
10
versus the rest of the conference picks?
1 to 10 on your two teams in the Big 12.
Like a 3.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
a 3. Because I feel like I in my head made the case for like I love Utah. I love Kyle Whittingham. Like I think they could be
I
don't
think he's
think
the
they're
best
gonna
coach.
be-
I think
I would go as far to say he's probably the best coach in the Big 12, but then I also like I really like Matt Campbell and I picked Iowa State. I want to like Avery Johnson and I want to pick K-State, but I did that last year and they just decided to not make the Big 12 title game. Like
Yep.
I didn't see Arizona State coming out of nowhere. Like in my head, the same argument I made for the Pitt Panthers, I could make for Arizona State. Like let me not get on a rant.
yeah, go.
Hey.
All right, you're up.
Okay, so I had Baylor TCU, and I am going to keep one of those teams because it was very implausible that two teams playing each other in the Big 12 would actually make this conference championship game. I'm just going to be honest. It would be very hard for two teams playing each other. Now, not impossible, and they probably will. At least one of them will have played. They may have played the other, but it would be very hard for two mid-pack teams who are already projected to make this conference championship game. So that's fine. I wanted Baylor was actually like my shining light because, like Jay said, I just kept mentioning them. I was like, wait, Auburn could lose to Baylor, and now Iowa State could lose to Baylor, and now Arizona State could lose to Baylor. But at a certain point, you got to embrace reality. Probably not. So here's what we're going to do. We're keeping TCU because I'm a Hoover fan, and I know some stuff out there about him right now. I don't know. I don't get into personal life stuff, but on the field, I think Hoover's pretty damn good.
Yep.
Here's what I know about program defining losses too. It takes a little bit. And this TCU team, I check in on them now and again because the term I just used for the Liberty Flames, what would have happened to them? That's what happened to TCU on national television on the biggest stage to college football's biggest program. And I know that it takes some time to bounce back for them. It really does. And there's kind of some debate, like, how did TCU get in and then Florida State didn't the next year? Like, it's kind of the same argument, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I get Travis went down, but, like, TCU historically in the 2010s has kind of been a force to be reckoned with. I feel like they're trending that direction. I think this is a year too early for them. But I can't pick Arizona State now. I've pigeonholed myself off.
Sure have, buddy.
Iowa State was somebody. I'll just go and list off all the teams I considered for this championship game. I think that would be easier. I actually did consider Arizona State and then threw that notion out the window really quickly.
You've got to defend that. You've got to defend that argument.
Yep.
So
Baylor, Colorado, Iowa State, Kansas, which
Jalen Daniels, man.
I really would believe in Kansas if their schedule wasn't impossible. I mean, this thing is one of the – I don't know who made this, but it is like they're at Texas Tech. They got Kansas State at home. They're at Iowa State. They're at Arizona. They're at Missouri. Like, I don't know. Like, that, it's not the hardest schedule in the world, not even close. But, I mean, at a certain point, it's going to get really difficult for them, especially – the three ranked teams they have on their schedule all come within the last 6 weeks of the season. And that's hard for me to see Kansas. So moving on. I considered Kansas State. I'm really off Avery Johnson.
I'm fading on him this year more so.
I think he's just going to be one of those guys who's pretty good. Like, he's good, but he's not. I don't think he's ever going to be able to elevate a team to even 11-1, 10-2. That's kind of where I'm at with him. I did not consider Oklahoma State. Just if anybody was wondering, I think they're going to be pretty pathetic. I did not consider UCF. Considered Utah. No, don't. I just had bad experience picking them. So here's what I ended up deciding to do. TCU is going to stay in this championship game. And like our brother Malcolm, I am going to take the Colorado Buffaloes.
Let's go! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about.
Look, if Dion actually is what he says he is, and I want him to because it's the best thing for college football, the Colorado Buffaloes have to continue to sustain success outside of the Shadur Sanders, Travis Hunter era. And that's all I want to see. And I'm gonna pick Colorado to win the Big 12.
Perfect timing, baby.
I don't hate it.
I don't either.
I've thought about it.
Okay. My hot take for Colorado this year is that I think Julian Lewis is starting before the end of the season. I just don't think Caden Salters. I think he's good, but if you're Dion and you're looking at the long-term success of the program, I think your ceiling isn't what it could be if you let Julian get in there and make some freshman mistakes this year, and then you really pivot towards building that team towards his junior year, maybe even sophomore year next year. So, I mean, you can sell me on it. You can sell me on it for sure.
Sure,
because the rest of the Big 12 is.
I think they're projected like 9th right now. Like I think that does say something. Like, and I know you made the Arizona State argument, but but they're not going to come out of nowhere. Like, first 4 weeks of the season, they're going to have coverage on them no matter what. And then how they do in those first 4 weeks are kind of going to determine the long-term coverage of this Colorado team. But like I said, I'm taking this pick because college football will be a better product if Deion Sanders is constantly involved in the circus.
No doubt about
it.
it.
It just will. Like, will I get a little annoyed by the storylines and seeing it all the time? And like Dion does something simple, like, oh my goodness, Dion just patted him on the back. What a good coach. But yeah, that'll annoy me a little bit. But having him on a national stage is good for college football. And since I watch so much of it, it's good for me. Go Buffs.
Go, Bucks.
I agree with that, and I do think for him, not having Shadur for one, and not having Travis is like my biggest like what if storyline this year. I don't know. Like what is Dion without a very good quarterback? I don't care what your perception is of Shadur the guy, and one of the most generational, spectacular talents I've ever seen in college football.
Yeah,
in Travis. Now let's see what he can really do. Let's see what he is with just being a football coach, not being a dad, not having a son that's a spectacular quarterback. Like, let's see it. I believe in him. I love Dion. I think he is, like you mentioned, Drew, he is great for the sport, man. He's great for the sport.
Side note, whatever Oklahoma State's win total is, you should take the over because nobody on this show is on Oklahoma State. And that's exactly when Mike Gundy does his best work, is when no one expects anything of him. So, yeah, we'll see you at 7-5, Oklahoma State. I'm sure their win total is probably like 5.5 or
I think it's
6.5 or
4.5,
something.
yeah. 5.5.
Yeah,
It's
probably 5.5.
You said they're all
Yeah.
going about 5.5.
Yeah, so can't wait to Oklahoma State to actually, come out of nowhere this year. Somehow they'll pull some running back that no one's ever heard of, and they'll have the next Tyreek Hill on their team that, and Oklahoma State will just appear out of nowhere, and
Right,
Mike Gundy
yeah,
will be like,
that'll
"Got
be
you,
Yeah.
yeah." So here we go. Exactly, dude. Like last year I was just a year early.
Yeah, and they'll beat somebody they're not really supposed to, and they're going to look awesome in that sick orange uniform, and the lights are shining.
Paddles hitting the wall.
Oh yeah, it's going to look awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. We all see that vision.
Yep.
Before we go, anybody have any group of 5 thoughts? I have one group of 5 team. Anybody have anything?
I want to hear your group of 5 team.
Mine is Texas State.
Yeah.
They're really
bingo.
Yeah.
Investment.
Texas State has invested a lot in their athletic program, and they're going to the Pac-12. Or whatever it'll be called. I don't know. Whatever
it'll be the
Pac-12 for now.
Yeah, well, it's more like the Pac-8 or Pac-7 in Gonzaga basketball only.
Pac-7
right
in Gonzaga.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
Pac-7 in Gonzaga.
Yeah. But I mean, they were decent last year, and they've invested a lot, and they almost beat Arizona State. I think I touched on that as a negative for Arizona State last year, but they play in the Sun Belt, and I'll be honest, the limited research I did about the Sun Belt, not a huge fan of it this year. I think Liberty's going to be down from what they have been.
Yeah.
And I just, it's kind of the lesser of all evils. I would give Texas State a shot this year to be pretty good. I don't know if they're going to go 12-0. There always seems to be some random team that decides to do that from the group of 5, but my random team would be Texas State.
That's what I like. It's a lot of investment.
I'm with it. It's very well thought out and very rational. If we're picking group of 5 teams, I'm riding all on vibes for group of 5, and that's Tulane, the Green Wave. I believe in John Summerall, dog.
You have to sell your soul.
I am selling out, man. They got Jake Retzlaff to replace Darian Mensah. I don't love that they lost their running back to Oregon, I believe. But I like John Summerall as a coach, and I think he's really solid, and I think Tulane will be pretty good.
Was BYU's, right?
He was BYU's quarterback, yes.
Because I thought about that the other day, because I really wanted to if BYU had Retzlaff, I probably would have picked BYU.
I think I would have been on the same train with you.
But I do think it's funny that he goes from BYU to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because he got kicked out of school for having the
fornicating.
Yes.
Premarital.
Coitus.
Not a good Mormon young man.
Not a good
not in on the mission.
Nope.
It's too bad.
On the missionary, but not the mission.
Hey,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna have
That's what I'm talking about.
Every West Coast college football program is going to hate this Chattanooga, Tennessee-based podcast.
Yeah.
By the end of this year.
I mean, dude, I love Kehlani Sataki, and I thought I'm with you, Chase. If they hadn't lost Jake Retzlaff, I thought BYU would have been really, really good this year. That's a veteran-laden team. They announced Bear Bachmeier, who I think is the younger brother of Boise State's Hank Bachmeier.
Sure
is the starting quarterback for BYU. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be that team wouldn't totally shock me if they were able to win the Big 12, just because of a bunch of 26-year-olds playing football. Playing
Yeah, they
college
have
football.
26-year-olds, and then they have 18-year-olds at quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Very strange team. All right, Miggie, you got anything else from the Great White North?
Yeah, it's a great day to be a Memphis Tiger if you are one. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Memphis Tigers are going to make some noise this year. Possibly could run the table.
That was probably going to be my other one. I like Texas State a lot. Mainly because I like their pictures of their new facilities. It's pretty sweet.
We love facilities, and we love the foundation.
We love money. Foundation loves you guys. It's hot as shit in here. We love yins. We out. Like, subscribe, all the podcast things. Bye.